everyone, this is Maki. A rather unique new product has been announced today, so let's take a look at it. It's called the Mobile Suit Gundam Rain of Fire New Edition. This is a book. More specifically, it belongs to a genre known as gamebooks. It's quite famous among the core fans of the Gundam series. But because it's such an old genre, it's not well known among younger fans. I had heard the name and the general plot, but I had never read the physical book myself. Fans who have played it have praised it quite highly, and it was quite popular. However, since the company that originally published it no longer exists, it has become extremely difficult to obtain. Now, however, the company currently in charge of publishing Gundam series books has announced that they will be releasing a new edition. While G-Culax and Seed Freedom Zero are getting a lot of buzz among fans, this Rain of Fire is also generating a lot of discussion among the core fan base. Let's find out what makes this book so special. I'm planning to buy it the day it comes out. What exactly is a game book? Simply put, it's a book designed with the concept of active participation and play in mind. Depending on how you interpret it, even a book filled with quizzes could be considered a game book. You can think of it as the book form of the modern video games that many people enjoy today. Of course, compared to video games, which deal with vast amounts of data and calculations, game books have a much simpler structure. Readers follow the text to progress through the story while dealing with enemies by writing numbers in a notebook or rolling dice. The dice rolling element is somewhat similar to the recently announced Gundam Assemble. Perhaps there is an intention to link this to Gundam Assemble in the future. It's unclear at the moment. While core games book fans are excited about the news of the new edition of Scorching Hot Pursuit, some are puzzled asking, why release such a modest medium now? Maybe they have some interesting plans for the future. So what kind of story does Scorching Hot Pursuit tell? Let me introduce it while avoiding major plot spoilers. The story is set in December of the Universal Century 0079 in Africa on Earth. It takes place in the same timeline as the events of the original Mobile Suit Gundam, as the war between the Principality of Zeon and the forces of the Earth Federation is gradually coming to an end. The Zeon forces, defeated in their battles on Earth, are attempting to retreat into space. Some, however, remain hidden on the planet, waiting for an opportunity to strike back. The protagonist, John Quest, is a soldier in the Zeon army. He was a student conscripted to fill a manpower shortage in the Zeon military and is assigned the role of a second-class mechanic. While he is responsible for the maintenance of mobile suits and is capable of piloting one, his combat skills are negligible. Compared to specialized pilots in the game book, his initial combat ability stat is set to 0. There is a running joke among fans of the Gundam series that John Quest is the weakest character to ever appear in the game. This is due to his infamous 0 stat. One day, John is on duty as a communications officer. While enjoying a cup of coffee with a field nurse named Luria, their base is attacked. The base is completely destroyed, leaving only John Luria and the base commander as survivors. Shockingly, the attack was carried out by a gamebook. The gamebook, Zeon's most advanced mobile suit at the time, was used by a team of ace pilots known as the Iron Scorpions. The Iron Scorpions also made off with top-secret data. The base commander speculates the Iron Scorpions intend to defect to Earth's Federation forces using the secret data as leverage. He then orders John Quest to get in the mobile suit, pursue the Iron Scorpions, and retrieve the classified data. It's an absolutely reckless order, isn't it? The sheer absurdity of this order has left a lasting impression on fans, who often find it comically exaggerated. John Quest, not long ago a student, is ordered to act not as a mechanic, but as a pilot. To make matters worse, the enemy is an ace pilot unit, using the latest mobile suits. The game's book is also notorious for its exceptionally high difficulty level. Since the company that originally published it was relatively small and the Gundam series itself was not as big a franchise as it is today, the game's book's balance adjustments were reportedly quite rough. It's not just the high difficulty, the book also contains contradictory explanations in some sections, forcing readers to make their own judgments and decide how to interpret the rules. Will these conflicting rules be corrected in the new edition? Or will these flaws, which are part of its charm, be left as they are in order to preserve its individuality? It's certainly a fascinating point to consider. Among fans, it's often said that Scorching Hot Pursuit has a compelling story, a satisfying gameplay experience, but a very high difficulty level. Many people may hear high difficulty and wonder, can I really enjoy this? However, there is no rule that says you must play it as a gamebook. You can just read it like an anime. When you reach a battle scene, you might imagine John must have won and go to the victory page. You might enjoy the story that way, and if your interest grows, you can try to engage with it as a gamebook. Speaking of African battlefields, after the events of Requiem for Vengeance, its protagonist Elia Solari also moved to Africa. It would be exciting if she made an appearance as part of the fan service. Just a small spoiler, Roberto from Zeta Gundam also appears in Scorching Hot Pursuit. Having characters from the anime show up is always a nice touch. Scorching Hot Pursuit will cost about $6 and is scheduled for release on February 25, 2025. It's worth noting, however, that no release schedule for languages other than Japanese has been announced at this time. It's such a fascinating story that it would be wonderful to see it released in different countries. Thank you for watching to the end. I'll see you next time.